now we have ice baths in a trend. Everybody is jumping into tubs of ice to control their nervous system and everything. So it depends on what
Everybody do the ice bath?
no, definitely not. It is very important to know what effects we want to see. A person when enters into ice suddenly, it is kind of shock. And if you already have existing heart disorders or something, it can definitely cause a harm.
What is this fatty liver and how a naturopath gets to treat that?
Yeah, fatty liver is where fat is accumulating in the liver cells and gradually
Because of food.
Yeah, because of food. Before there was a time where only alcoholic fatty liver was seen more. But now non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, it is very, very common. More than the alcoholic fatty liver. So if a person is fasting and suddenly next day he can't eat a high protein meal, it doesn't digest. So we take them through these different stages. During fasting, they are on elimination diet. It is soups, it is fruits, vegetables. So anything which is adding fiber and not more of carbs.
Whatever the patient or the person needs, whether it is acupressure or is it a mud therapy,
Correct.
or it can be aromatherapy.
There are different treatments available at one place. You can get it done if you are looking at that. But if you are looking at treating your disease in particular, you need not go to a fancy center as well.
How do you think it's different from a mother telling the children, do this, do that, or a little move around? So how does a naturopath become different? Like specifically, I think you would be telling the same thing what your mother told you.
Exactly.
Do
Actually,
patients really follow that? Because we don't follow our mothers.
yes, that is why it's becoming very challenging to have a hold of patient. You know, why naturopathy is not standing as a very good system for an example. Because more than a doctor, the patient has to do the effort.
Correct.
And patient does not
And
do
there's
that
no
much effort.
medication also.
Yes, yes.
See, in modern medicine or even in Ayurveda or any other traditional, you have a medication.
Correct.
You pop in or you punch in or do something.
Yes.
You get an immediate relief.
Yes.
Here you're putting all the pressure, all the responsibility on the patient.
Correct. So that's why it is very good for few people. That's why the resort kind of centers are working beautifully, because they cannot do it at home.
Right.
There is somebody telling you constantly to do it. You have paid for it. There are 2 times of yoga sessions.
They come hold you and
Yes.
carry you.
Then they give you that hydrotherapy. Before they used to just bath in the pond which is front of their home. Right? That is naturopathy. You just jump into the pond and take a bath or play in the mud. That's it, right? They were in the sun all day. It was natural treatments.
Oh, the sun, everything that we
Yes.
were doing normally has now been resortified.
Yes, because
Okay.
nobody is having the time to do it, and there are a lot
Always
of distractions now.
Right.
Before we used to eat only at home, right? Our parents never told us about these many dishes available. Even my mom says sweets were made only on occasions.
Correct, correct.
But now every day you have access to them. It's very difficult to control. So they'll lock them up in the resorts
Okay.
or a wellness center. And that's why naturopathy has been seen like a VIP.
Resortish.
Yes, it is a resort kind of. It is wellness.
Yeah.
That's why there is no recognition for a naturopathy as doctors.
And as a treating system.
Yes.
It is more as a wellness.
Yes.
It's good to have. It's
Yes.
a feel-good factor.
Yes.
Okay. Can we understand multiple therapies? You already said there are so many therapies. Can we go one by one?
Yes. Yes.
What is hydrotherapy and this hip bath?
Yes. Hydrotherapy basically uses water for its treatment. It might be consumption of water, drinking water. It might be taking normal baths or also baths in a tub. There are different types of treatment. It can be a hip bath, a spinal bath.
What do you mean by hip bath? So you immerse yourself only till your hip.
Yes, there is a tub, specialized tub for hip bath. You just sit in that and the water is filled up to your hip and that's it. You just sit in the hip bath tub for 15 to 20
What is
minutes.
it for?
It is good for people who have all these menstrual irregularities, specifically PCOS, and also good for digestion.
Okay.
Water has been seen as a healing remedy since ages. It has a power to heal you. We have seen it might be like having a tirtha in temple or chanting, having a pot of water in front of you while you do puja, because water holds energy, right? So whenever you chant something or energizing the water, many people drink energized water. It might be through magnets or it might be sun charged water. Now we also see pranic healers. Everyone, they bless their water and charge their water and have it.
Water manifestations
Yes.
happen.
Yes.
Okay.
So water holds that energy and power, which can help you to treat any kind of disease.
Okay.
And also, not only the energy, we also it is very specific for temperature. The hip bath is of different temperatures.
Okay.
And according to what condition the patient has, we suggest different temperatures of hip bath.
Okay.
It varies from very cold. There is very cold, neutral, warm, hot.
Okay. So this is based on the body system and the healing they need.
Yes.
Okay. I have heard people with kind of a pitta kind of a body or a heat body generally. I don't know how it is called in naturopathy, but they need to take in room temperature water. They shouldn't try the hot water bath. So that kind of in a colder places in like Bangalore or in any other thing, having a normal room temperature bath itself becomes difficult. Or in your term, even taking bath is a hydrotherapy only.
Correct.
Every day we taking bath is part of a hydrotherapy.
Yes, yes.
How ideally should a bath be?
It depends on what effects you're looking for. For example, now we have ice baths in a trend. Everybody is jumping into tubs of ice to control their nervous system and everything. So it depends on what.
Can everybody do the ice bath?
No, definitely not. It is very important to know what effects we want to see. A person when enters into ice suddenly, it is kind of shock.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you already have existing heart disorders or something, it can definitely cause a harm.
So it should not be like I see it in social media, people jumping into the ice bath, and nowadays spas also offer this as a service.
Yes.
One bath, it is 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees kind of a thing. So it is not that for everyone unless it is prescribed.
Definitely. It should be done under supervision. Somebody who is really trained into it. You should be knowing your vitals, that my BP is normal. Even when that's the difference. Now we have steam bath in our centers.
Saunas.
Steam, sauna, everything. People who are going to gym simply go into sauna and steam randomly. But we check their blood pressure. We put a compress on their head. We put a compress in their chest also to prevent that stroke or any kind of complications.
What are you saying? Steam bath has become so common.
Yes, it is very important.
After a workout for a muscle recovery and, to feel better, everybody gets into the sauna.
Yes, if you are a healthy individual, well and good. Not a problem at all. But if you have some heart problems, your BP is fluctuating, you should be very careful with that.
Another thing which I realized when we are saying is, you're talking about detox. This is a very cool word and whole world is running behind. First we don't know why we are putting toxins in and then running behind detoxing.
Correct.
Can you explain this toxins, putting in toxins and then detox?
Yes. When you take unnecessary toxins inside.
I don't take any. I don't drink toxins.
Yeah. But what happens is in general, our body is taking in toxins every day. It might be through air, through the food we eat, or today we have so much of chemicals, tablets, whatever. But our body is very capable to throw out the toxins
on its own.
Yes, on its own. Your liver is the major detoxifier. It breaks all the toxins there. Even it might be your medicines, it might be alcohol, everything your liver is going to break and release it out. But if you have a problem with your liver, maybe,
or I abused it so much.
Yes. Because today, because of high calorie and high fat diets, many people have fatty liver. It is very, very common. So your liver is struggling to remove the toxins out. Maybe in that case, you need some aid to detox your body so that your liver doesn't have the load. But in general, your liver, your body is capable of doing it. There is no need of doing something really special for a detox.
What is this fatty liver and how a naturopath gets to treat that?
Yeah, fatty liver is where fat is accumulating in the liver cells and gradually.
Because of food.
Yeah, because of food.
Oh.
Before, there was a time where only alcoholic fatty liver was seen more. But now, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, it is very, very common, more than the alcoholic fatty liver. Because of our diets, high-calorie diets, overconsumption of sugar, that has led to fatty liver.
Okay.
So, first thing the person can do is lifestyle change.
No, but how will I know I have a fatty liver problem?
Yeah, most of them are having fatty liver. They get to know only when they are having some ultrasound scan because of some other reason totally.
So, in a normal life, people wouldn't know that they have a fatty liver?
No, they wouldn't know at all. They would have gotten some blood tests done where we can see liver enzymes elevated. Then doctor would have told to just get a scan. That's when they know. That is the problem with all these issues like fatty liver or also the increase in cholesterol.
We
don't know at all. Unless you get a blood test, then you don't know that your cholesterol levels are high.
So, what would you recommend then? Instead of being ignorant, every 6 months do some test, at least the fatty liver and the cholesterol thing I can keep in a check, right?
Definitely. What I would suggest to people is anybody who is above 40, at least like yearly once get your blood test done. Everyone, even after 30s, yearly once it is an ideal thing to do. And people who are above 50s and have diabetes or some associated factor, they can go for 6 months. If it is severe, they can go for every 3 months of testing. But 6 months would be ideal for them.
But to identify the fatty liver, what are you said some enzymes.
Yeah.
So, and cholesterol. So, what are the parameters that they should check in their blood test?
They can get a liver function test done, which is a blood test. You can see changes in the liver enzymes. Or also, if you have high levels of cholesterol, there are high chances you will have fatty liver. Or if you are obese since a very long time, so that might be a chance where you will have a fatty liver. In very severe cases, you can see the swelling in your liver. It is like when you touch and examine, we see there is a swelling in the liver portion.
If they haven't identified at all, the blood test was not done, these tests were not done, what would it lead to an emergency kind of?
Yeah, it ends up to liver cirrhosis, which is the dead state of liver.
Okay.
Basically, your liver is not functioning. It might be symptoms like jaundice, they start having, or they have severe pain. So they can clearly see that the digestion is affected because your liver is not producing any enzymes, no bile. Bile juice is very important, which is produced by liver for digestion. So digestion is affected, you have abdominal pain, or you have symptoms like jaundice, you have liver failure. So that is the end stage. But initially,
if they come to you, how would
that's why healthy lifestyle is very, very important. For few people, it is fatty liver. In males, mostly. Even in women, it is common now. And for women, it is PCOS, thyroid, some hormonal issues. So in some way, it is affecting everybody now.
So that's kind of going to be tomorrow's epidemic.
Yes. The sedentary lifestyle is very huge problem. People say, I eat at home normal meals. We are eating the same since many ages. I don't eat junk also. But still they are having these problems. That is because of sedentary lifestyle. Office, desk jobs.
Yes.
They are contributing. So that's why naturopathy eventually is becoming a fancy term to use for everybody because most of them have lifestyle problems. Everything we see is a lifestyle disorder.
Yes.
So it can be corrected from the root cause only when you correct the lifestyle.
Right.
And naturopathy is a very good treatment for that because we don't give medicines. It's safe.
It is safe.
There is no side effects. They know that.
Okay.
So they can easily trust this, and
A
also
full balanced meal is what first recommendation,
Yes.
and you will ask them to probably work out
Yes.
a little, at least 30
if
to
they
45
are
minutes.
really they want to put in some effort, we'll also suggest fasting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give it rest.
Yes.
Mm.
So fasting already which is accumulated, we try to cleanse. There are different phases in a naturopathic diet,
Huh.
which differs from a modern day nutritionist.
Okay.
We speak about eliminative diets.
Okay.
We have soothing diet and constructive diets. The fasting
So
basically.
in all these things, the food is all you're
Yes.
actually managing the food in
Correct.
whichever category. So certain ingredients or certain vegetables and fruits will be in eliminating,
Yes.
certain will be in the other two.
Yes,
types.
yes.
Okay.
So if a person is fasting and suddenly next day he can't eat a high protein meal, it doesn't digest. So we take them through these different stages. During fasting, they are on elimination diet. It is soups, it is fruits, vegetables. So anything which is adding fiber and not more of carbs. The carbs are very low
That
there.
is called
Yes,
elimination.
elimination diet, where more of fiber is given or to remove the toxins naturally. So that is our detox way.
Okay.
And then we go for soothing, that may be a khichdi, lightly boiled vegetables, small introduction of grains, then gradually goes to protein and fats.
Okay. Breaking a fast itself is a very
Yes.
technical thing.
Yeah, we try to cleanse. There are different phases in a naturopathic diet, which differs from a modern day nutritionist.
Okay.
We speak about eliminative diets.
Okay.
We have soothing diet and constructive diets. The fasting
So
basically.
in all these things, the food is all you're
Yes.
actually managing the food in
Correct.
whichever category. So certain ingredients or certain vegetables and fruits will be in eliminating,
Yes.
certain will be in the other two.
Yes,
types.
yes.
Okay.
So if a person is fasting and suddenly next day he can't eat a high protein meal, it doesn't digest. So we take them through these different stages. During fasting, they are on elimination diet. It is soups, it is fruits, vegetables. So anything which is adding fiber and not more of carbs. The carbs are very low.
That
there.
is called
Yes,
elimination.
elimination diet,
Okay.
where more of fiber is given or to remove the toxins naturally. So that is our detox way.
Okay.
And then we go for soothing, that may be a khichdi, lightly boiled vegetables, a small introduction of grains, then gradually goes to protein and fats.
Okay. Breaking a fast itself is a very
Yes.
technical thing.
Yeah.
It is not like the whole day Ekadashi I was
Yeah. And night
next
with
day just-
sabudani khichdi and something. They eat a lot of high carbs and too much of fat suddenly after
Shouldn't be.
fasting, which shouldn't be ideally. Gradually they have to take, so that as we were talking about detox, detox become a fancy term. They think every day if you drink something, your body.
Lemon water, green
Yeah.
tea.
Lemon water, green tea, jeera, ajwain combination, or combination of so many herbs which Instagram influencers are telling. They think that that is the detox. They're taking that challenge for detox challenge, 12 days. Or drinking those detox waters, putting in lemon slices
Yeah.
in the bottles
That's
and all
very
of that.
fancy.
Yeah. So they think detox is some cool term and you need to force your body to detox.
Do these fancy detox drinks work?
It might work because it's still giving you some antioxidants, like lemon is giving you some nutrients, and it might work in that way, but you should not depend on that, and that should not. For many people, it becomes an excuse. See, every day morning I drink my turmeric water, so I do that so I can eat junk. It should not become an excuse because there is no alternative for that. There is no shortcut for your health. Even if you're taking some medicines, you still need to do this.
The rest of the thing, the lifestyle needs to be fixed.
Yeah, it's very
Whether
important.
it is fatty liver or for a glowing skin, fix your gut.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, interesting. We were talking about hydrotherapy. Is there anything else in hydrotherapy that
No, most of it is about water itself. Different modalities based on the evolved sciences now have many types of therapies, like the fancy jacuzzis or anything. But wherever water is used for a treatment as a therapy, that is called as hydrotherapy.
So consuming water is also part of hydrotherapy.
Yes.
Today again, the very in quotes 5 liter, 7 liter will keep you clean. What's your take on that?
See, it's important also to understand when and how to drink your water. In naturopathy, we believe on eat the liquids and drink the solids. We tell that. Why eat the liquids? Because we have to take it very slowly. Whenever we drink water, it's told to swirl in your mouth and then gulp it, not just gulp it down.
Okay.
So that is very important. Whenever you drink any liquid, it might be your juices, it might be water also. We ask them to drink it slowly, which is important. And we say drink the solids, chew it very nicely
Till it becomes
liquid. Yeah, that's when you are controlling your portions. Your satiety kicks in. You eat only how much ever is required when you follow that.
That comes under mindful eating.
Yes, yes.
Be aware and just enjoy all the juices that's going on. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, water drinking, definitely drinking 8 glasses of water is ideal throughout the day. Counts to
Fixed this 8 glasses of water.
at least basic of 2.5 liters or something, because people don't drink at all. So, in that case, you can fix an amount, but there is no fixed for every person. You cannot fix.
Okay.
For many people, drink 5 liters a day.
Huh.
They don't count, but in general, they finish off 5 liters.
So if the body needs, then it is okay. But don't measure your water.
Definitely.
If your body needs a 5 liter of water,
Yes.
please go ahead.
If you're an athlete, you're sweating whole day, you need more water. So in that case, you can't.
In the sedentary lifestyle, I'm working, but I have an alarm, water alarm, and it beeps every 1 hour or every half an hour, drink water. Then would you recommend that kind
Not necessary, but I usually tell them keep a water bottle always with you. So whenever you're thirsty, your instinct tells you to drink water.
Now that, yeah, actually.
Yeah, so it's very important to keep drinking water throughout the day instead of gulping 1 liter. Few people have started the trend of drinking 1 liter water in the morning
Yeah, yeah.
on empty stomach.
Yes.
I would not say
Even before brushing.
Yes, yes. Many people have are
It is
doing that.
because, again, in your specific topic of gut microbiome, they say that once you wake up, gada, drink of 1 liter of water. How much truth is in there to make me healthy?
It's very good if you're drinking 1 glass of water in the morning.
Okay.
You get up, your mind full, you're sipping on 1 glass of water is very good because you're giving that hydration.
Before brushing, after brushing?
Before brushing, if you are sure you have a good hygiene, like you brush at the night and sleep, that is very important again.
And also if I don't have any oral health problems.
Yes, yes.
Gum bleeding or any other
Definitely.
gum problems or teeth problems.
If you have any infections in the teeth, that can be actually dangerous if you drink water without brushing. And so it is very important to have good hygiene. Definitely you can drink water before brushing. That is good. It helps with your gut health, everything. But not 1 liter of water.
Okay.
Because gulping water is never the trend. When we ask them to gulp water, when we want them to puke forcefully.
Flush it,
Yeah.
kind of. So, this is a very, I don't know how to ask this. What are the career opportunities of being a naturopath? Because till now we have discussed varied things. Naturopathy, like you said, it is an umbrella of multiple things.
Yes.
It varies from therapies, it varies from even going to temple and praying could be one part of naturopathy.
Yes, yes.
As a first generation doctor, what do you recommend young people who are very fascinated about naturopathy?
Yeah. Firstly, whenever comes to me that I want to do naturopathy, I'll ask, are you really interested into it? Because it's very important for you to be passionate. Because it's not going to give you money like lavishly initially.
Okay.
You have to struggle to make everyone understand who are you.
Okay.
Because people don't know what naturopathy is.
Exactly. The awareness
yes.
about natural.
And they think you're doing something for wellness, making money. You have a center. But they don't know you're a doctor. So you have to make yourself stand as a doctor. And make them aware that there is a system like this. And whenever a patient enters, it's not just writing and giving. You need to explain why it is important to have a good lifestyle, why naturopathy is important, how it works, everything. Because that is what makes them to stick to it, right? In medicines, you are just telling them take morning once, night once, finish. It will do its job. But here the patient has to do the job. So it needs more of counseling. It happens only, we personally believe that this will work.
Okay.
If we don't have that faith, we can't convince. So it's important for a doctor to choose,
Believe in it.
believe in it. If you want to choose naturopathy, you have to have a belief.
Conviction.
Yes,
That this is
I
what-
want to do it because I don't believe in giving medicines, or I believe that prevention is more important than treating.
Mm.
If you have that kind of mindset, you can come. And once you are done with it also, there are many options.
Okay.
And you can go into wellness side, which can make good money also.
Or choose a therapy and be specially in that.
You can be an acupuncturist, or if you like, you can also learn more of TCM and go into that way. You can also practice a little bit of physiotherapy combined with it. But physiotherapy, because it is a separate course in itself,
And it's also part of modern medicine also.
yes, physiotherapy is a very vast topic by itself.
Right.
But you can still practice a little bit of it. You can have a pain clinic where you have relief in different kind of pains, arthritis or anything, including massage, acupuncture, physiotherapy, different aspects like that. You can work in already well set up hospitals. There are government jobs as well. But definitely opportunities are very less. In government sector also, you'll hardly find 3 or 4 spots. And it's very difficult to get in there.
You were also telling that today naturopaths unfortunately are working as duty doctors in larger hospitals.
Yes.
Why is that situation?
One thing, definitely there is less job opportunities. More of doctors, so they don't know where to go. And even if they go, naturopathy hospitals are paying very less.
Okay.
So ultimately they feel this is better. And also if you don't have that faith. For me, when it comes, I didn't choose to work in an allopathy hospital because I felt what I've studied, if I can't do, what I've not studied, how do I do good in that? So that was always my belief. But if someone has a belief that naturopathy is not that good, it's not scientific, allopathy is more scientific, and there's no effort to convince people. It's easy.
Now that you touch the scientific, are there researchers, dedicated researchers happening in the field of naturopathy to support this? Because if there are more researchers, more people will come there with the trust and belief, not like just a wellness thing.
Correct.
It's a treatment system they would come.
Yes.
So are there researchers?
Yes, definitely there are researchers on hydrotherapy, on fasting therapy. There are many researchers. There is CCRYN, which is the Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy, which is doing great work in bringing evidence-based naturopathy to practice. Yoga, definitely there are many institutes who are
That's my
doing it.
question. See, Ayush itself doesn't have naturopathy in it. The word, the N is not
But
there.
why is what we have in Ayush is for yoga and naturopathy.
Okay.
It's just a part, but still, always Ayush is mostly about Ayurveda.
Ayurveda, and then comes yoga, but yoga and naturopathy are combined.
Yes.
So it's the same Ayush that controls your.
Yeah.
That's a council you also come
Yes.
in India. Okay. For a person who to reach out or to come to a naturopath, what kind of a budget they should have?
Yeah, if you're going for an OPD, like just a clinic, it is some regular consultation fees. Like an allopathy doctor also, like 500 to 1,000. It is ranged like a regular
Consultation.
doctor for consultation. Again, but when you have for treatments, it differs on which kind of center you choose. There are very large scale and very lavish kind of centers. Where if you are someone who prefers that kind of luxury and ambience, then you can go for it. We cannot estimate it. It's
Sky is the limit.
Yes.
Okay.
And there are retreat centers which have naturopathy treatments.
Yeah.
But it can start from 5,000 rupees also.
For a treatment.
Yes, for a 10 days package, you can, with the stay and food, it can cost around 15,000.
Okay.
Along with the food, stay and treatment.
Okay.
In a regular average hospital, in a general ward kind of setup.
Okay.
So there are different kinds of hospitals.
These
You
are
can
the
choose.
hospitals or centers who have the facilities to do all the therapy.
Yes,
And
yes,
also specialists
yes.
like you who can do whatever the patient or the person needs, whether it is acupressure or is it a mud therapy
Correct.
or it can be aromatherapy.
There are
But-
different treatments available at one place. You can get it done
Mm.
if you are looking at that. But if you are looking at treating your disease in particular, you need not go to a fancy center as well. You
Okay.
can just do it at home with guidance of a certified naturopathy doctor. They'll just guide you on how to do. For example, if we have a hip bath, I don't have a hip bath setup. I would suggest patients take a huge tub, fill it up with water, sit there for 15 minutes. That is good to go.
Simple,
Yes.
no fancy, but
Yes.
still effective.
Yes, definitely it gives you same effect. And what you do 10 days in a hospital is not that important. It is important what you come back from there and do.
Correct.
So it is your lifestyle. It has to become your lifestyle. It is not a one-time treatment.
Right.
So how many times you are going to go to that fancy hospital? It's not feasible, right?
Interesting. We will go to a very nice, interesting segment, myth busting.
Okay.
Naturopathy is not scientific.
It is definitely scientific. Only if you go to a certified practitioner who has studied all the science.
Okay. Naturopaths reject conventional medicine. That is the modern medicine, allopathy.
Not everybody. If they are certified and naturopaths, I don't think so. They can reject it because they know that on extreme cases, we need support of conventional medicine, where we stand by as alternative system of medicine or an integrative medicine, we can call it as.
Okay. Naturopathy is all about herbs and supplements.
Definitely not, as naturopathy actually doesn't believe in taking anything external. So it has a usage of a few herbs, but mostly food, your lifestyle is the medicine, not the herbs and supplements.
Anybody who cooks can become a naturopath doctor.
They can be called as naturopaths, but not as a doctors, definitely. They can practice naturopathy every day.
Okay. All naturopath doctors are the same. They talk about food and lifestyle.
The basis of all naturopathy doctors could be same, where we believe prevention is better than cure and food is the medicine. But definitely treatment approaches could be definitely very, very different. Few people can practice only TCM or only acupuncture or only diet as their, or fasting is the major thing which way they practice. So it depends on every doctor.
Naturopathy takes too long time to fix any issue.
It is not like it takes too long, but as I said, it is a lifestyle. It has to be a lifestyle. You should always see it as an integrative approach. If you are having increased blood sugar levels, you can't expect it to be coming down in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you have to be following that. Only then you can treat the disease from the root. When you are treating from the root, it is definitely going to take time.
Okay. If you get into naturopathy treatments, you have to do yoga, you have to meditate. You become spiritual.
If you are taking naturopathy treatments, it is very important to have your mind in your control, in which yoga helps.
Oh.
You can choose other things to do it. It might be just spending time with the nature, going for your regular walks. Anything is fine, but anything which is helping you to control your mind, that is very, very necessary, because mind is also very big part in naturopathy treatment.
Okay. What is your opinion on walking barefoot, grounding? Is this also part of naturopathy?
Yes, definitely it is a part of naturopathy. Barefoot walking is considered to be very good. Grounding is important because we know earth itself is like a huge magnet. It has that electromagnetic force which is acting on. So barefoot walking is important and it's very good. But you should be very careful with that. If you are a diabetic person, if you have cuts in wounds on your feet, you should not be doing it every time, every day. Throughout the day, I don't suggest. Maybe a morning 10-minute walk on your grass. That would be good enough.
And that's a wrap for today's The Life Grits conversation. So yes, please, we really need you to press the like button, subscribe button and the share button. It really means a lot for us. We enjoy doing this. We are really happy doing all these things. But please comment how this episode was and what we can improvise. We definitely wanted to do better with every episode. So, yeah, there are fun bloopers and behind the scenes on the Instagram. So visit us there too. See you soon with another free flow casual conversation with lot of good insights. Till then, take care. Let's explore every moment of life.